Morning guys, welcome back to video 85. So I'm going to try and carry on with what I've got here. This front bar, I'm going to try and see if I can work my way around it. I'm just going to have a look at the photos and just check out a couple of things. I would love the bolts, but it might be a few days before I get them, but I'm going to try and carry on with that. So I got that screen, or the windscreen frame, fixed in that first part of yesterday. So yeah, I'm going to carry on and see if I can get some of this bow made, and see if I can get there. As you'll see, we've got a started a manifold set up for compressor. That'll be in the video as well. I didn't make that. The owner of here must have managed to get some bits and pieces before lockdown, or must have got some stuff sent to him or something. I don't know, not 100% sure. I haven't talked to him, so I don't know. But I see he started making that up, so that's cool. That'll definitely help when we start to obviously put paint near this and keep the water out of the away from going through the gun. So yeah, it looks like he's got a small water trap there and bits and pieces. I thought it might have been a little bit bigger, but it is what it is. I can probably get a inline filter from the gun as well, just to help. But I think between the combination between the manifold and the little water trap, and then if I put an inline filter in the gun, I'll get a couple of inline filters from somewhere. Might order a couple, and yeah, that'll should sort any of those issues out from moisture coming through. And also it should be better for any of my air tools too, because I notice the way I'm working for a while, there is a bit of moisture coming through the lines, which is obviously inevitable. But yeah, if we can stop it with a manifold and this basic water trap, well, we'll at least slow it down. That will make a heck of a difference, and obviously we can drain the system fairly regularly. So yeah, so I'll carry on here. I'm going to have a quick look at some photos. I want to suss out a couple of things in my head, see if I can see how this, especially how this front bow's attached to the steel blocks. I just don't know if there's something else actually on the front of those blocks or not. I'll have to have a better look. I've got vague recollections of something else on the front of them, but I might have to build something and weld it on there or something, which I was just thinking about last night. So yeah, we'll carry on and get back to you shortly. Right, this is one of the better shots. I can sort of see what's going on here. So that is the bow straight here, and it looks like this bracketry comes out from the end of it. So yeah, I might just have to add some plate steel and bits and pieces onto the end of it, and maybe just modify what I've got there a little bit. Yeah, but I think I should better make something work quite nicely. I think we'll just have to have a wee play, and just once we get a few things situated, then I can work it out. I've got other bloody photos on my other computer at home, and I keep forgetting to transfer them onto a USB stick so I can bring them here to put them onto that. Yeah, pain in the butt. You get busy doing other things and video editing and that, and then you forget about this stuff. But I need to remember that. But yeah, so I'm assuming that thread's about 3/8. I'm not 100% sure, and you can sort of see that roundy piece where I want to try and cut some of that steel away to make it look a bit more like that and shape it. So yeah, that's sort of what I'm trying to make. But anyway, we'll carry on and we'll keep looking at stuff. Alrighty, I think I might have solved my bolt problem. There's just a bit of threaded rod here. I've actually got a few nuts and bits and pieces. This is all, what do you call it, metric, but doesn't matter crap. It's the same, basically the same size. So I'll just cut a few bits of this, and I've got a few nuts and stuff here. So that'll solve that problem. So it means I can have it together properly. Now these here, I just worked out that. So what I want to do, probably what I should have done is actually cut these a bit longer, but I just I wasn't quite thinking down this path for a start off. Where are we? This way. So sits about there. Actually, the edge of that. Reasonably square to that red tape. So if you say that's the front of the bar there, this is the back side of that front bar. So in here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a piece of flat bar and make this shape, and I might actually, I'm not sure, but I might put another piece of steel in here and put a flat bar through there, and then like double this up and then actually weld it all on and grind it all up, make it look like a piece, and I might actually put another piece of wee plate across here and make it all one bit, if you know what I mean. I'll try it on explaining it and you can sort of understand what I'm trying to do here. I'm just trying to make it look a bit more like what the proper thing is. I probably could have carved it out, but it might have been a lot of work too, so it's probably just as easy to make it out of a bit of flat steel. So a piece of flat, it comes along around here like that, put a piece in front of it, and then put another piece in here, just almost like double it up, possibly just with another little short piece, and then weld it all on together, and make, probably even plug weld it through here, but yeah, weld it all together, and then put a piece of plate on the top and weld it on, and weld it in from underneath if I can, to make it all nice, like so it's make it all strong together. You'll see when I've got it made. So I'm going to make two of them and pick it up. So at least then I can pick up to put some sort of bolt or screws or bracket or something in here that we can put through the bow to hold it on to these. So yeah, and I've actually still got to open one of these holes up. I've opened one up to fit over that ball, but I need to open the other one. It's just not quite large enough, if you know what I mean. Can't remember which one's what, but yeah, one of them needs enlarged a little. Yeah, looks like the bottom one needs enlarged. That one there. I've actually got to, just thinking too, I've actually got to grind one of these down that way, because I actually ground this one down to make it so it wasn't quite so thick. So I'll just take a little bit off each side until I get it reasonably thin. I didn't get that hole very square in the centre, but it's not super critical. We can make that better, but yeah, I just want to take a little bit of thickness off this too. So yeah, we'll do that. I'll cut some 2-inch pieces of this that I can put through those bits. So I need 6 of them. So we'll cut those out of here. I've got plenty of nuts and stuff over there that I can use. So that's handy. I didn't actually realise there was a heap of this stuff here. So yeah, and that manifold, just see here, we're going to put another drop in it, put another up and down. This is just, it's actually just slipped together. So yeah, he's got enough stuff there, he's just got to get a couple more right angles. I think he's got everything else. So we're going to do that. And just, yeah, put just one more drop in it just to help collect water. And it also will, because it's a reasonable sized pipe, will actually give us a little bit more volume in the air system too, you know, because that's all that's volume, if you know what I mean, air volume. So that, I don't know how many, you know, there'll be a few litres of air in these, so it all makes that little bit extra difference. So it's cool. This is all high pressure pipe by the looks of it. Yeah, quite nice pressure pipe. I'm not sure what it's rated to, but it says it's designed for high pressure. So yeah, it's cool. I'm surprised it doesn't have a rating on it, like a PSI rating. obviously the right thing. So yeah, we'll glue that all together and yeah, put it on the wall, hopefully in the next couple of days. Just because of COVID lockdown, we'll just have to wait to try and get some more fittings. We could put it up like that, but it would be nice just to have that extra one in it since we've got the bit of the thing. So yeah, I just said to him, since you got the pipe there, I said another couple of fittings wouldn't go astray just to put another up and down in it, just to, you know, a bit extra volume and just a bit of extra collection for water. And we've got the little trap and wee pressure gauge and that there. Like, it's not the best one, but it's better than nothing, and it's got a little trap. So hopefully by the time it's gone around there, whatever's left in it will get clicked in that little trap. Just cool. Right, so you just see me look up a little bit of strip steel off the front of there. I use the cutting disc because I can get in it with a nice cleaner piece, and it's consistent with, it's about 15 or 16 mil across, which is actually a little bit lower than what that block is, but I actually want that because I want to set a plate on top of it, and hopefully it's about the same height, and weld it all together. That should be really nice and strong. So what I'm doing at the moment is actually making up a little wooden jig, because I want to basically clamp that block down, have another wooden block in front of it, so I can get my gaps and all that sort of stuff right, at least get some of this bent up. I'm going to have to cut another strip anyway, it's a little bit wider, for the pigs that will pick up the, what do you want to call it, the bow. I want like a full thickness piece, but everything else will come up to that. And also there'll be a little plate filler on top. So by the time I weld all that together, it should be fairly strong, and I'll weld it all on the inside and trying to clean it all up and make it like it's all one piece of steel in the end. So I think this should be thick enough. This is 3 and a bit mil thick, or whatever it is, 1/8 inch, like steel plate, sort of smallest steel plate you can get without going back into sheet metal, I think. So yeah, I'll get this little jig set up so I can put the steel block in there, and then I can tack it all together at least, and then weld it off the block obviously, but at least the little metal jig or wooden jig will give me a guide, and I can get it all set up. So yeah, I'll get that sorted and I'll come back to you and I'll show you what I'm doing. Right, this is what I've got going on here. So basically this sits back, that bolt is where obviously where the ball is. This is where the front or the back edge of the bow is, so I'm gonna make a little bracket that comes out here, up to some about here somewhere. I'll have to do some measurements on here first. There'll be a strip of steel along here, put the piece on here, back across here and there, and then I'll put another little strip in the centre, weld that in, and then there'll be a little plate that goes, or just a little piece of steel that'll cover the whole lot on the top, and we'll leave it open on the bottom within reason. I'll weld it up on the bottom and grind it all up so it looks like one piece of steel, but yeah, it'll be open in there because it's sort of what it looks like on the pictures. So just trying to replicate closest, if you know what I mean. I probably could have made this piece of steel bigger and cut it to the right thing, but this is just as easy to do, really. Probably less work doing it this way than the other way. So you'll put a bit of this in here, bend it up to where I want it, and weld it on basically. So I need to cut another piece just slightly thicker than this because I've got this down a little bit, so why can I stick the other piece on top that's flush. So I'll cut another bit that's a bit thicker. Now over here, I think I've got the right, oh no, I've got the wrong one on there. Sorry. doesn't need to be that thick. This is a little bit lower. It's not by much, but it's a little bit. It's there. This is still. It's good enough that it would just be nice little amount there. But it's not going to be bugger all in there anyway, so I can grind it down a little bit if it needs to be. Make it look good, but I'll carry on cutting some more pieces up and get myself sorted out, and I'll come back to you. Right, so it's about lunchtime. So I've got to here, I've ground that. This was the thick one, so I've ground it down quite a lot. It's thinner than this now, because in the photos it shows that the ball sticks up above it a bit, so I've tried to take a wee bit of thickness out of it. I'd still like to round that end off, so it's been grinding up. I might put a bit more weld in a few corners, bits and pieces, just so I can clean it up nicer. But that's looking pretty. I'm pretty happy with that. I noticed on the real thing, this here, this slot here comes way back into here. That's not really going to matter. I probably could do that with this. You know, I could grind a big hunk out of it before I put it on, and then I could probably make this one. I could probably grind this out with a die grinder or something. But it doesn't really matter. Like, I'm trying to get it close without, you know, if I had the pieces here, I would mimic them even better, but trying to go from photos, I think that's close enough by the time I round that off, leave it more dress up and bits and pieces, a bit of body work, a bit of paint. Most people will never know. Even when I make the wing nuts, from what I can see in the photo, I'll try and mimic as best I can. I'll make the wing nut piece to weld onto the end of the bolt type sort of thing, you know, or weld it onto the nut and then grind the rest of the nut off type sort of thing. Make a piece that'll slip over the top of the nut with the big ears on it that it's got. I'm not sure exactly how big they are, but they're a reasonable sort of size, if you know what I mean. So they can be wound in and out fairly easily. So yeah, that's where I'm at the moment. Hopefully after lunch I'll get this one done, and then I can start cleaning out that bow and get that attached. May rebait this in a little bit. Not 100% sure on that, but that mightn't be a bad idea because it'll actually give it a shoulder to sit on. So if I, take my time and rebait a little bit out of it, and then that can actually, it's got a little bit more support on that wood. I could also add another layer to this and weld it all the way around and plug out a few spots, just so it's got a little bit more meat in there. I'll think about that. I'm not 100% sure. That might be a little light. It might have been a little bit heavier than that. So I might do that. We'll see. What I might do is get all the rest of this one like this, and then see how much of that strip steel I've got, and then just add another layer type sort of thing. Just to make it a little bit thicker, a little bit stronger type, so I can weld it all the way around there and grind it off and clean it off. And, yeah, and then we can rebate that in so it's flush, and that'll give it a little bit of strength to help hold. So yeah, we're getting there. Yeah, so I'll carry on. We'll see you after lunch. Righty, so I'm up to here. I've got this bow to this far. Got the ends on it, obviously. Just working out what we're doing here to anchor these. I think what we're going to do is I'm going to make a plate, file it, or drill a hole in it, and file it square. Take coach bolts just to get a decent clamp. I'd hate to put, I think if I put screws in here or something like that, I think we'd end up breaking this out, whereas if I have a steel plate on that side, the coach bolt through it and then do it up nice and tight, it's less likely to fail, because that would be the spot where it's going to fail. So yeah, these are basically done. Just got to, obviously I want to round the end a little bit if I can, and then drill these out further and then put a, make the wing nut and put a thread in it, so they'll clamp on. But yeah, I've had this all sitting up here. It looks really good up there. So yeah, hopefully before lunch tomorrow I should have this, I think, reasonably complete and back up here, I would think. If I'm not, it won't be far away. So yeah, because I'll have to make these bits so that this here is going to come along, and then I'll have to try and do a really hard 90 in here, a bit like what the photos show. I haven't got the laptop anymore. So that's where we're at here. I don't think I've got anything else to say or show you at the moment. Yeah, I've just basically gone through and cleaned them all up. Got that other one made basically the same. Thinned it down a little bit. So yeah, just as I said, just want to round those ends off a little bit. If I can find a hole saw and just nick those edges off and sort of make it a bit more roundy, I'll just do it by hand. But yeah, that's about where we're at. So I've just got to make the end pieces. Yeah, put those bits on, make a plate, make those coach bolts work. Yeah, just so we have a less likely of a failure. And obviously finish cleaning the bow up and all that sort of stuff. Well, reasonably clean it up when we break it all down, before I put all the rivets and everything in and finalise that stuff. Then I'll go through and we'll really get these nice and cleaned up and fill any imperfections and all that sort of stuff and make them really nice. The other thing I've done too is I've adjusted these distances a little bit. I've actually poked. I've got this sitting slightly proud of the back now, where it was a little bit up, and it was sort of almost sort of back in a little bit. On the photos it's sitting out a little bit. I might have this a little short maybe, but it doesn't really matter from what that other one is, but it's slightly proud. So yeah, but yeah, it's looking good. And I adjusted this forward a little bit too, so this sat better. I think I did pull it up a little bit. We've played with it and jiggled it a little bit. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that now. I think by the time we get that on there and put that on and get that, and we'll just might do a couple of final adjustments. If it's sitting, I just don't want that bow sitting higher than that one. So yeah, but apart from that, it's all good. It's actually quite a bit easier to put up by myself in this form than it was with this stuff. This probably had too much flex in it, too much flop in it, where this is a lot more rigid, and it actually folds up and down fairly easy. I think by the time I get these other pieces made and get them a bit more dialed in and nice, yeah, it should actually go up and down reasonably simply. The only thing I might have to do is play with a little bit is the holes in those, and just make sure we get them in the right spot so they come off and on easy enough, if you know what I mean. Might just have to play with these a little bit. But yeah, I've got the spots marked where I want to put them, and where I had them and set up originally, yeah, it was really close to being dialed in. Actually, I need to remark that one, but it's basically 500 millimeters from there to there, from dead centre. So yeah, it's almost spot on the first time I put it up there and just sort of clamp them in place. So that's cool. So it's sitting really nice. Alright guys, we'll catch you later on.